Two trees. In open space, a girl walks alone. Her path is undetermined, her weather undefined. The wind, in its cruelty, sees a chance for some fun. She is tossed and turned, now harboring a storm within. But at just the right moment, 5 people approach, bearing kindness and bearing love. She is grateful and greets them as friends, and with greetings exchanged, begins a series of interactions, each one stacked upon the other. With passage of time, she recognizes this tree of life. This tree of life whose members branch out. This tree of life that looks up above. The girl stands in awe of this wonderful place where she has friends and family who encourage her and build her spirit up and up till it hits heaven's doors. There she thanks the Creator for his blessings and the opportunity to serve under the boughs of such a tree. Within its shade, she moves about, interacting with others and enjoying every moment. Yet all of a sudden, she is struck by a new image. A tall and beautiful tree, yet hunched over from years of community struggles. She pardons herself from the tree of life. Just one moment, please. She goes to examine its branches. She looks over its leaves and finds that they are colored, like her. She sees a need for watering, and the gardener says, "Go." She seeks her friends of old and tells them of the tree of color, the people of color, the people just like me. They are facing a drought, and I must go to help. The girl and the tree, the one that watched her grow, exchange goodbyes and say, "God bless." She heads out to the unfamiliar and leaves the closest thing to home behind. The tree of color, despite the drought, welcomes her in. She admits her blank slate, but they invite her all the more. She meets people one by one, and at a slow, steady pace forms friendships with them. As a group, they sit together discussing issues within their community and telling stories that they've mastered down to a fine art. Looking back on her roots, she is immersed into a culture that she can call her own. She is overjoyed at the sight of this family, but her ties to this one remind her of the one she once had. Her emotions pull her both ways. She fights the conflicting gravities and severs the old to connect with the new. Under the branches of the tree of color, she encourages others. She builds them up. But all the while, her spirit is sinking and left in a land of limbo. She pictures her friends of old and longs for their encouragement, but she has lost touch with them. She finds herself stuck because her 2 legs cannot be in both places at once. Nowhere man sitting in her nowhere land. In her mind, she pictures a bridge connecting the gap between tree of life and tree of color, or at least their branches extending to each other, creating some overlap in her view. With time running out, she takes a look at them both, cherishing both worlds.